Hey guys, this is Rick from Fragworld, here with James Macauley.
What's up, hello, welcome Fragworld. Thanks for joining us here at the FireFall booth, PAX Prime 2012.
We got Von Woolhouse behind me. He's playing the game right now. He's about to attack a melding twister, which we haven't seen outside very often, so it's kind of a coincidence that it worked out this way. Right now, FireFall is in closed beta, and we're talking with James about what they're changing for the new stuff. They just had a big patch come out recently. Tell me about what kind of stuff you added in this recent patch.
Well, we've had a couple patches in the last 3 weeks or so, and it was a major patch. In fact, we basically kind of, for those who've been playing FireFall for a while or following FireFall, starting in May, I think we got a lot of feedback from our community, and we decided that we had to make the call to retrofit some of the systems, to make some modifications to the game. And so over the course of May, June, July, our team worked tirelessly to make sure that we can make the updates and get them out as soon as possible to our testers. And basically, in many ways, we kind of gutted the kitchen, the family room, and the living room and remodeled the entire house. And so far, I think the response has been positive. People are liking it.
I like a lot of the changes, but like many people, I had my personal favorites before. Like I was a medic player, I was an assault player. Like a lot of the changes did negatively impact my personal choice, but it's my own thing. I see that that it was necessary for where you needed to go forward.
Yeah, I mean, and talking about that, like change is change is tough sometimes, right? Making changes, people are used to certain things, used to run speed, used to the way weapons work. Ultimately, I believe we made the game a much stronger game that we can continue to grow and evolve over time. One of the big things we did was we looked at combat, and we had received a lot of feedback from our beta testers. We're talking like we sent out a survey and we received thousands and thousands of responses. We spent a lot of time reading through the forums. We spent a lot of time talking as a team, and really we were looking at what do we need to do to improve combat. Because at the core, we want FireFall to be a kick-ass online team-based shooter. And if combat doesn't feel right, if it feels sluggish, if it feels a little off, then nothing else matters.
With the medic change specifically, the medic had a necessary place on the battlefield that was kind of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, the medic did a couple things. Like when we designed the classes back in the early days of FireFall, we very intentionally said, look, we want FireFall to be a highly competitive, skill-based game. So we want to reward players with pixel-perfect accuracy with classes like the Recon, with sniping, or the Assault. But we also wanted to make the game approachable or accessible. And so you saw that with the medic. The medic was designed to be a support class, and it was designed to be enjoyable for people who maybe weren't quite as accurate with the sniper rifle, but they could have tactical advantages in different situations. They could heal people, they could help people out, they could, and so forth. What we ended up seeing through February, March, and April was that was great at kind of the lower levels, but as we started to see the highly competitive players at the top, the top levels playing in PvP, the game had been designed to require a medic. Right. And so if you didn't have a medic on your team, you were not playing right.
Right. It was more medic spam. You just need it all the time.
And that really took away from kind of the skill level or the sense of mastery that people could have. There was no real way to master a healing gun that locked on. Right. As long as you just tagged along and ran along behind your ally, you were doing your job. And so it was a really hard decision to make, and we know that there are people that love the medic, but we made the hard call.
For those of us who aren't the greatest shots, let's say, it was a good choice to have that kind of simple to play, easy to pick up thing. But the biotech is still simple to play, easy to pick up. But it is definitely not a medic. It is a biotech.
Absolutely, and you can heal as a secondary mechanic, but your primary focus should be killing the enemies, planting neurotoxins on them so that they take more damage from your allies, laying down poison trails, and really trying to stay close to your teammates.
So we've only seen Tier 2 in live so far. I know you guys have a lot of plans for Tier 3 and beyond, but they've talked about some of those weapons in the past and things like that, like with the neurotoxins and stuff. I haven't had a chance to try some of that stuff out. Is there anything you have that you really like that you've seen coming up soon?
Well, yeah, I mean, so we really are trying to raise the skill ceiling. We the old adage, easy to learn, hard to master, really is important to us. We want the game to be approachable and accessible and fun the first minute you sit down and play here at the trade show. But we also want it to be rewarding for those of you guys who've been playing for the last however many months, right? And
11?
11 months?
11 months? Yeah, I think something like
that.
Right?
We want the game to be rewarding for you guys by giving you opportunities for mastery, for opportunities to raise the skill ceiling where you feel like, oh man, I've been practicing this one move, one maneuver, this one weapon, this one ability for the last 2 weeks. I finally nailed it, and my game is better because of it. So, a great example is the plasma cannon. The Assault's primary weapon is the plasma cannon.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's an energy-based rocket launcher, and it has splash damage, which, if you're looking at the competitive pro gamers, splash damage is not the most competitive side of the equation, right? The more splash damage you have, the more forgiving the weapon is.
Right, it's just kind of just spray and pray almost.
You spray and pray, and if you throw enough plasma shots, eventually you'll hit someone and eventually you'll kill them.
Right.
This feels really, really good for Tier 1 and Tier 2. But at the higher tiers, we really want to reward the assault players who are badass, you know, mid-air attack, you know, they're jumping around and they can get mid-airs left and right, and they've mastered the projectile speed, they've mastered aiming, they've mastered, you know, leading the players.
And with the new movement speed changes and ability to fly a lot faster, the battlefield is much quicker and more air oriented, so it's much more challenging for those guys.
Absolutely. And so we introduced a new weapon at Tier 3 for the assault called the Fusion Cannon. Fusion Cannon is all about like a more hardcore, I mean, it's the you know, child of the plasma cannon. It has virtually no splash though. So it packs a massive damage, a massive punch. It does more damage directly, but has no splash damage.
Gotcha.
And so hardcore shooters, hardcore, you know, guys who've been practicing, they're gonna gravitate towards the Fusion Cannon because they can do more damage.
They're gonna get more rewards out of that kind of risk, you know. For a lot of us like me who aren't great at aiming, we will get more out of the splash damage than others people would. Yeah.
Plasma cannon, and it's your choice. And so we're trying to give players choices, you know, where it is accessible, it's playable, everyone can jump in and have a good time. But the more you practice, the more you play, you're going to actually start realizing that, hey, these certain abilities end up doing more DPS, you know, long-term, you know, sustained DPS, but they're harder, and I'm going to master that skill.
And I know you guys just put out the Founders Package, the initial release of your cash shop. Lots of stuff to choose from there, but, you know, it's starting off, it's still early, everything's still going to change, you know, like what are your guys' plans for that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, when people have asked me, like, when is the game going to be done? You know, when's it going to be finished? My answer's always been really that, like, I hope it's not done for many years to come. Honestly, like, we really will, you know, we believe, like, as long as players are coming and having fun, as long as you guys are enjoying what you're experiencing and people are enjoying FireFall, we'll continue to build the game and grow the game for as long as we can. We've literally planned out 4 or 5 years of content, you know, new zones, new features, new other stuff that we're really excited to get to.
That we can't talk about yet.
That some of you guys have heard a little bit about. And so the game's not going to be done for a very long time. So the real question, I think, is when is beta going to be lifted? When is anyone going to be able to join in? Like, anyone can go to the website and create an account and play. And really, you know, our whole beta approach is to build and grow the community and the game organically. And the next step is monetization. And this is a really big step. It's something that we actually have always kind of put on the back burner because our goal, first and foremost, is to make a fun game. If the game's not fun, it doesn't matter how cool our marketplace is. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So we took the Field of Dreams mentality of if you build it, they will come. If we build a fun game, players will enjoy it. If they're enjoying it, we'll be able to generate enough money to sustain development on the game. And so,
a lot of that is cosmetic and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and so 2 weeks ago, we made a major milestone for the team. I mean, the team worked really hard to build a very solid release for our first beta test of microtransactions and storefront. And to kind of commemorate this big occasion, we paid some respect to one of our favorite watering holes on Catalina Island, where we've taken the team multiple years for a company retreat, and it's Luau Larry.
Yep. So here, and the Wiki Whackers.
And the Wiki Whackers, that's right.
He's got a torch going right now. This will cause other people to dance. So sounds good?
Totally fun, novelty item. It doesn't give you
That's a tiki dance. That's a different kind of dance. I haven't seen that one.
It's a fun, just really fun thing. And we're all about fun, right? I mean, we're a fun company. We're trying to build fun. That's what's important. And so to kind of test out our storefront to begin with, we had Luau Larry selling tiki-themed novelty items. And for anyone who knows Red 5, you know that we've got a little thing about the tiki. We've got a tiki bar. We have tiki time every Friday. And so we thought, what better way to kind of celebrate, you know, the grand opening of, you know, testing our storefront than to have Luau Larry selling tiki pets, wiki whackers, tiki torches, fireworks, etc.
Nice.
So here you see one of our tiki pets. I've got to be honest and say I think it's one of the creepiest things we have in the game, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a fire mask. It's cool. It's just a little kid, white hair, fire mask. You know, it's normal.
Follows you around,
right.
He dances with you, and you know, it's cool.
Awkward.
It's cool.
No problem. Yeah. So you can get those, all those stuff is through the pack sale with the Founders Packs?
Well, so these are all testing our microtransactions that use our currency, which is called red beans.
Okay.
So you have red beans in game that you can spin at Luau Larry's. You can also go to Kaylee to buy XP boosts. You can also go to the New You, which we can show in a little bit. The New You is a new feature we rolled out this month as well, which allows you to customize the visuals of your character. So you can go, you can change your haircut, your face, your skin tone, your beard, mustache. You can add, purchase sunglasses or masks or other things and really customize your character to your heart's content.
So it uses the same kind of interface as the Battleframe Garage, which allows you to customize your entire machine that you're running with.
Absolutely, yeah. We really wanted to give you a very cool 3D interface to really bring you into your character and make it feel like a cool experience. But we also wanted to separate the cosmetics from the functional changes. So when you go to the Battleframe Garage, you can actually go, it's the Batcave, right? You're going down the Batcave and you're customizing your gear.
In the new U right now. So.
Oh, okay, so we'll jump onto the new U. Let's take
the interface.
I'll get out of the way.
Okay.
So go ahead and select your head. And you can zoom in and you can customize everything about your character. You can pick different haircuts. Let's go ahead and there are your hairstyles. Bam, new hairstyle it is. Some of these are free, others are premium, and they're using red beans to purchase. And again, we're just testing right now. I'm not saying that everything's final and the prices are perfectly set. We're trying to learn, we're trying to get feedback from our beta testers. But you can completely kind of mix and match different things. And we're logged in on my account right now, so here's your chance to spend up some red beans.
Don't tell anybody. Giant straw hat.
I've got the straw hat. Yeah. Let's turn the hair off so we can see.
I know, right?
Now we're talking.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So like you said, there is still many things to be fixed on a lot of that stuff, but it's in beta. It's testing out the system and making
We're just
sure
getting the party started, man. We're just getting things going, and it's been a huge step for us because when we launched the storefront, you hear about problems sometimes in the industry where like people are double charged or there's problems with billing, there's problems with this, and I'm just really proud of the work the team did to have a very, very smooth release, a smooth launch of the storefront monetization. And we heard feedback on pricing and stuff. We definitely had some great feedback from the community, but there were no real problems with the purchasing flow and actually being able to go into the game and unlock premium items. So I'm really happy with that step. And then, as you mentioned earlier, the Founders Packages, which is something that we're selling starting today at 12:01 a.m. to commemorate PAX and also monetization of the game, and to give players an opportunity to really support the game, support FireFall, support the devs. We're selling Founders Packages. Ensign, Lieutenant, and Commander that give you access to a whole bunch of cool stuff. Red beans that you can spend in-game, a decal that you'll have on your battle frame and also maybe in the forums, your very own Tiki mask, a permanent XP bonus for your battle frame, which is pretty sweet. And then also a bunch of other stuff. So Commander will send you a FireFall beanie, a FireFall poster. You'll be able to reserve your name, reserve your army name, and most importantly, most coolness is your personal light ground vehicle. The first vehicle that any player will be able to have access to is through the Commander level. So if you're interested in your custom chopper, now's the time to go to firefallgame.com.
One last question before we go.
Bring it on.
All right, there's been a thing going around from some of the videos you've been in recently where you might...
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
So exactly what we're looking for. What was your reaction to that kind of a thing where they put that screenshot of you and put Chosen instead of the aliens guy?
It warmed my heart greatly. I heard about it maybe day 2 after there was already 5 or 6 pages on the forum post. Yeah. The team was like, James, do you see your post? Do you see it? Do you see it? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And it cracked me up big time. It cracked me up big time. And it really made my day. I felt loved and appreciated, and I certainly appreciated the love I was given.
Well, one last time, James. Let's do it one more time for the camera.
All right, baby.
All right, so it's this big.
It's huge.
Right?
I'm not kidding you. It's huge.
It's this big. All right, thanks a lot, man. Good talking with you.
All right.